Foreign tax credits. If you work in the US, I know it's your favorite topic. If you do work in the US though, it's super important to understand what they are, how they work, and when you do get a foreign tax credit review letter, what to do and how to handle it. So in this video, I'm going to be going over why you're receiving a foreign tax credit review letter, what are foreign tax credits, and what you need to provide the CRA to make sure you're in the clear. Number one, when you do get this letter, please don't ignore it, right? Don't avoid it. Don't be scared of it. You have to attack the letter and make sure you get the CRA everything that they need. And if you do need more time, which you probably will, because they only give you 30 days to respond to this letter, call the number in the letter, call the agent, ask for an extension. So when you do receive this letter, that's the first thing I do. You have to understand, this is an automated request from the CRA. It's computer generated. There isn't someone on the back end going over the returns and picking you to get reviewed. You're not that important, right? So what happens is they'll look at foreign tax credits claimed on returns and they'll say, okay, any returns that claim more than X amount in this region, send them a review letter. And that's all it is, because you have to understand, when you submit a tax return, the only thing the CRA sees are the numbers you submitted. They don't see any of the support, right? So a way for them to keep people in check is they send these review letters. It's not an audit, it's a review letter, right? A review letter is 3 in every 10 people will get a review letter. And it's just confirming that what they claimed on the return is accurate. So for example, let's say you claimed medical expenses. They'll be like, hey, please provide us with the invoices or receipts of the medical expenses you claimed. Daycare costs, rent, foreign tax credits, right? So that's all it is. So it's not an audit, it's a review. And a review is a very common thing that happens because that's the way they keep people in check and make sure everything's being done properly. So you work in the US, you pay taxes in the US, but you also have to do a tax return here in Canada. So in order to avoid double taxation, you claim the taxes you paid in the US here in Canada as a credit. So there's a tax treaty between the US and Canada that allows you to do that. That's all it is, right? You're just claiming the credits for the taxes you paid in the US here in Canada. And it's a very important credit, because if not, you're going to owe a lot of taxes, because you're going to pay taxes twice, which we don't want. I'm going to list the items and I'm going to go through them in detail. Number one, you need to provide the W-2. Number two, you need to provide the T-2209. That is the form your accountant fills out. You need to ask your accountant to give you that form. Number three, you need to provide the federal account transcript from the IRS. Okay? And if you can't provide that, I'm going to go into detail as to what you can provide instead of the account transcript here in a second. In addition to that, you'll be providing the official copy of the Michigan tax return. So you reach out to the state of Michigan and ask for the official copy of the state of Michigan tax return. It's stamped and dated. And if you do work in the city of Detroit, you will also have to request an official copy of the city of Detroit tax return from the state of Michigan as well. Okay? So those are the 5 things that you need to provide, and I'm going to go into them in detail here. Number one, your W-2. On your W-2, it will show the federal taxes paid throughout the year, the Social Security taxes paid, Medicare taxes paid, state taxes paid, and then if you worked in the city of Detroit, the city of Detroit taxes paid. So it will list all the taxes that you pay throughout the year. Now, if you only provide the W-2, the only thing you're going to get credit for, Medicare taxes paid on your W-2 and Social Security taxes paid on your W-2. That's the only two things you'll get credit for if you only provide the W-2. And the reason for that is the CRA doesn't need to see your returns or account transcripts, because that doesn't change. That's exactly what's been paid to the IRS, and nothing you provide them is going to alter or change that. So they're okay with the Social Security and Medicare taxes paid on your W-2. Now, in order to get credit for the federal taxes paid on your W-2, or the federal taxes paid to the IRS, you obviously need to provide the W-2. But in addition to that, you have to provide the account transcript. the federal account transcript. Now that is just a document you call the IRS or log into your irs.gov account and download. You get that account transcript. It shows all the information on your return, plus it shows the refund or payment that you made on your federal return. Very important to understand there are multiple tax transcripts you can request from the IRS. The one that you need is the account transcript. Very important. I'm going to say it one more time for those in the back. You need to request the account transcript from the IRS. Anything else they will not accept. So if you provide them the account transcript, they'll give you credit for the federal taxes paid in the US. Now, if you can't provide an account transcript, you can provide an unofficial copy of your federal tax return plus proof of refund or proof of payment. So if you got a refund via check, picture of the front and back. If you got direct deposit, a bank statement showing that money going into your bank account. If you made a payment, a confirmation of the payment being made, or your bank statement showing that money leaving your bank account. So if you can't provide an account transcript, a federal account transcript, you can provide those items replacing the account transcript. Now, I don't recommend it. If you can provide the account transcript, that's the way to go, because that's less questioning from the CRA. Because the account transcripts is the account transcript, there's less room for error in questioning. To get credit for the state taxes paid in the US, you will have to provide them with an official copy of the state of Michigan tax return. You call Michigan.gov, or you go on Michigan.gov's account. You can download that, or when you call them, they'll mail it to you, and you'll get it. It'll be stamped, an official copy of your state of Michigan tax return. So you get them that, you're in the clear. If you can't get them that, again, unofficial copy of your state of Michigan tax return plus proof of payment, proof of refund, similar to the federal. Now, if you work in the city of Detroit, when you call or reach out to Michigan State Department, you will ask also for the official copy of the city of Detroit tax return. That will be stamped, and you provide that to the CRA. Again, if you cannot provide an official copy of the city of Detroit, unofficial copy of City of Detroit, plus proof of refund, proof of payment. If you also get a T4 from your employer because you work from home here in Canada, you know who you are. If that happens, in addition to everything that I just said, you will need to provide your T4, which is silly because they already have your T4, but whatever, you have to provide your T4, plus a letter from your employer stating the information on your T4 and W-2 are accurate. If your employer is providing you with a T4, they'll be very familiar with this letter. You have to reach out to HR, get this letter, and submit it with all the other documents that I told you about. And the last thing is the T2209. That's what your accountant fills out to submit on your tax return to claim the foreign tax credit. So the accountant will have to provide this to you. And usually the accountant will put the FX rate used to convert your foreign tax credits in the US here in Canada. So you provide all those documents, submit it through your CRA portal, you're good to go. Now, a lot of times when you're going through a CRA foreign tax credit review, sometimes they'll ask also, in addition to foreign tax credits, they will review your 401k contributions, because your 401k contributions in the US, you get a deduction for it here in Canada. So your accountant gave you a pension deduction for the 401k contributions you made. If that's you, you will have to get the RC-268 from your accountant and also provide the CRA with the 401k statement that matches the contributions you made on your W-2. So you get the RC-268, 401k statement, and then you're good to go. You can provide that, and then you'll get credit for the deduction for 401k. Number one, I already went over this. Submit it through your CRA account. You get a confirmation. That's the way to go. Another thing I already talked about is ask for an extension. The last thing is, when you submit these documents, they will sit there waiting to be assigned to a CRA agent. They might sit there for 3 months, 6 months. You have to call the CRA or check your CRA account to see if it's been assigned to an agent, because when it is assigned to an agent, I highly recommend you call the number in the letter and ask them to forward you to the agent handling your file. And then you can talk to the agent and make sure that you provided everything that they needed, make sure nothing's missing, and what you provided is accurate and good to go. Because if you do that, they'll be back and forth. Because if you don't do that, they're not going to reach out to you. If you missed a document or didn't provide a document, or provided the wrong document or inaccurate information, they're just going to finalize the review, submit it, and then send you a notice of reassessment saying, hey, we didn't give you credit for everything because you missed A, B, and C. But you can go ahead and provide it to us, but you're going to go through the process all over again. So I highly recommend call the CRA, get a hold of the agent that is taking care of your file once it's signed, and talk to the agent and make sure that you have everything there. Because if you can do that, it'll save you a lot of headache, because if you don't provide everything on time, or you don't provide everything accurately and they do a notice of reassessment, next year you will automatically get picked for another review. So not only do you have to go through the process again this year, but next year you'll have to go through the process of getting a review. So please provide, don't avoid, get a hold of the agent in the letter, and hopefully this video helped and provide you some information as to what you need to provide, where to provide it, and how to provide it. So good luck, my friends, with your foreign tax credit review.